Hey guys, in today's video we take a small detour from one programming Pokemon project, Triple P, to another Pokemon Passim. And you read the title of the video correctly because we are reassembling the code to produce the Pokemon Red ROM. So how would this work, you ask? Well, there is a great group of people on the internet who disassembled the ROM into a bunch of files containing assembly code and a few other files as well. The assembly code is, if you don't know, essentially machine instruction. It's pretty close to the hardware, as close as you can possibly get. And then they made some of the files readable to us. The assembly is in an encoding that we can work with today, and some of the images are turned into PNGs, so we can edit them rather easily. This includes all of the images of the Pokemon in battle. The most mind-blowing thing about this project is that it actually builds into a ROM identical to the one you would rip out of your cartridge. Before I show you this in action, I just want to clarify that I'm using SIGWin to make my Windows machine act a bit more like a Linux. You can do that too, but it would probably be easier to do this on Linux. This SIGWin software gives me a new command line where all of the functions from Linux work inside. Here I will download the project from GitHub and then I will assemble it. If I throw this newly created ROM into a Game Boy emulator, we see that it starts up the game like it normally would. And if we analyze this newly made ROM, if we take its MD5 sum and then compare it to the MD5 of the actual ROM from an official game cartridge, then we see that they are the same, which means that the files are identical. So that's very cool, because now we can start introducing changes to the game's code and see them reflected when we boot up the ROM. Alright, this is now live commentary. This is the project structure. I'm not going to show you everything, I'm just going to show you the things that I found interesting, and then we're gonna change some stuff. First up here is maps. This folder maps. It's full of these BLK objects, or files rather. And if we open these, we see that they probably have some kind of binary content that we can't view, or at least not in an encoding that I can work with here. It's probably binary. I'm sure there is an editor on the internet that can edit these files. If you know about such a thing, please comment. I'm really curious to try that software. Probably not that difficult to find. Next up is macros. There's a few macros here. The interesting ones I feel are the text macros. In these files we see that text is, I think this means that the word text is equal to this instruction, and then we have a comment here, start writing text, and next is move a line down, and then line is start writing at the bottom line. So we have these text macros here. Take note of these. Alright, moving on. There's this data here, data folder, right? And it contains just, what you would find in a configuration folder anywhere. So we have wild Pokemon, and I think, we can try to look into the Diglett Cave. You will see that this is a list of the Pokemon that can be found in the Diglett Cave. And I think this right here is the levels. So we see that it's just a bunch of Diglets and a few high-level Ductrios, which is this is probably the as far as I can remember, this is correct. What's really interesting is that on some routes, I think Route 9 is one of them, there are different Pokemons for different games. So there are, in Pokemon Blue, there are Sandshrews, right? And then Pokemon Red, we have Ekans instead. That's really cool. I always wondered how they did that. And it seems it's just an if. Really cool. And it really it inspires me when I'm working on my own Pokemon game, because I can see, okay, now this is that's how they did it. Awesome. This is not very, it doesn't seem very high tech at all, and it isn't. Alright, that was a wild Pokemon. We also, apart from the maps down here, which probably contain collision data and tile data, the images, what images to put on roads and what images to put where, like terrain almost. In data we also have this map objects, which also contains all of the maps. And if I go into Pallet Town, we'll see that it's a border and then some warps and then some signs, some objects, which is actually NPCs, and then some warp 2s. Really interesting. If I go over here in Jest, I go out, and we see this lady right here, and the fisherman right down here, and then Oak is, I don't know where Oak is, but I think this is where that comes from, and we can test that by making a new sprite girl. And then make sure to edit this one so that the program knows now it's 4 lines, 4 objects that are incoming here. And I can see that stay is a parameter we can use here instead of walk. So this new girl, I'm gonna make her stay, and then I'm just gonna change this 8 to a 7. I don't know what these do. We're just gonna try it. And that's my changes. I saved them. We make the new ROM. Awesome. Now over here, just gonna go into my mom's house and save the game. Then we find the Poke Red. And it boots. Awesome. So we can load our state. Go out into Pallet Town, and we got another girl. We just made ourselves another girl. I'm raising I think this is the original one because it walks around. This new one, what do? I'm raising Pokemon too. Oh, she says the exact same thing. I wonder if we can make her say something different. Maybe, I don't know, maybe this one? It seems, I'd like to think that these are coordinates. But what are these two? The last one is the only one that really differs. So I'm gonna give this sprite girl a 4 here. And we're gonna see where that takes us. Poke Red. And it boots. Awesome. What do you have to say for yourself, young woman? Oak Pokemon Research Lab. Oh, so I was right. This is actually the dialogue that we're referring to. Okay, cool. And she said, Oak Pokemon Research Lab. Awesome. If I go into text, I can try to dig this up. Maybe if I search Research Lab. Oh, there's a file called Pallet Town in here. What if I Research Lab? Oh, this is Pallet Town text 4. That corresponds beautifully to the 4 over here. Awesome. So I'm gonna change this. I'm gonna say gonna make her say something else. Hey, if you like, make a new line. The videos dot dot new paragraph consider sub and then line subscribing to, and let's try the cont as well, just for fun. I can't remember what cont did. All right, so we changed the text, Pallet Town text 4. Awesome. Let's try to make this ROM. See if our labor is bearing fruit. Is that how the old saying goes? All right, it boots. Great, we're in business. This woman right here. Hey, if you like the video, oh, so I goofed. Whatever. Consider subscribing to Hydrozoa. Oh, and then the last part just worked beautifully. Awesome. All right, that's really all I am going to explore this on video. You can explore it too, really easily. And I recommend that you do, because it's so much fun and we learn so much when we do it. I have put a link in the description to this awesome project on GitHub. Huge thank you to all the people who participated in the project and helped out. I didn't, but it is a really cool effort that these people put in. Awesome. Just awesome. Thank you for watching my video.